There's something about the 5. If you look it up in numerical and biblical numbers, everybody know 5 means favor. Everybody know 5 means grace. I want my... Then we come to sapphire. The name means threshold and silver cup. But it's a giant. There's a giant that's standing right at the threshold of my silver cup. There is a giant that's standing right at the threshold of my blessing. But you see the giant, you see, but it says that he was in the land of Gersa. Gersa means to be cut off and isolated. It was a Philistine stronghold where they produced giants. So that's where they are. Y'all remember when the spies went into the promised land and they said that there are giants in the land? It wasn't but 2 preachers that had read Sunday school lesson. Somebody say now. It were 2 preachers that understood the text that God had given them. That your victory does not rest in what you do tomorrow, but your victory lies in what you do today. That's why when the praisers praise now, y'all ain't gonna let me preach. I wish I had a praying church. You know what they say in the Baptist church? I wish I had a praying church. But if you don't pray, I'm still gonna preach truth. If you don't say nothing, I'm still gonna tell you what thus said the Lord. Somebody ought to say yes. It was Hushite who slew Sippai, the giant that was in the threshold and at the silver cup. The name Hushite means to be silent or to be quiet. Some of us just talk absolute. Too much. You are just about to cross the threshold to get the blessing that God had for you. You tell somebody, I'm going over there to get the job. That's going to take you across your threshold of lack. And you start talking to other folk. And some of them might even say something to discourage you and say that, you know, I went by there yesterday and they weren't hiring, and so there's no need in you dropping off your application. But I dare somebody to say now. Come on now. Hush. Hush. That's right. Lamai, this is the 3rd stone. His name means my bread and my water. I'll show you what killed my bread, what got my bread, and gave me victory in my water. See, you need bread to be sustained, Apostle. We have to have, and I'm not just talking about spiritual bread, because sometimes we get so spiritual, we forget about we live on earth. I don't care how spiritual you are. Alabama Power gonna put me a bill in the mail and say, send us some bread. And they're gonna say that. Some of y'all ladies that want these boys, he can be as handsome, he can be as good looking as he want, but you gonna tell him, baby, I got to have some bread. And the apostle says, straight up got to have some bread. But when you find out that bread is a representation of finances, it is a representation of sustenance. Faith now, faith now, faith now, faith now, faith now, faith now, faith Elkanah, I'm almost done. His name means grace or gift or the mercy of God. And if you add all of that up, it simply means favor. You're going to get some bread that some folk think that you shouldn't have got. But you got to realize, you got to tell them that I put Elkanah in the back. Y'all not like I put Elkanah in the back because I wasn't supposed to get it, but I got it. Look at somebody and say, now. I'm almost done. My assignment is almost complete. The fourth stone was used at Gath. Gath means a wine press. That's where Goliath was born. In the wine press. The enemy, everybody know what wine does when you used to drink it. I know y'all don't drink it no more, but you know what wine used to do for you when you used to drink it. It gave you a little joy, didn't it? If something was troubling you, it gave you a little peace, didn't it? Y'all don't let me preach, y'all forgot. I know y'all hungry now. I know y'all drink olive oil now, so I know that y'all, you know, I drink olive oil. We'll get to that later. But in the Old Testament, he encouraged them to have a little wine because it would make them feel merry. But how you going to feel merry over your wine when the giant has set up a stronghold in your joint? Come on. That's where you got to have a Jonathan. Jonathan is who went in and conquered. We're going somewhere now. He went in and conquered Gath. And he settled things. It says Jonathan's mainstay is given of God. There are some things, I don't care how hard you try, you're not going to be able to get it on your own. The Bible says you got to let, not your peace, baby, not the peace the man gives you. It says you got to let the peace of God dwell in you. God gives you his peace, but you got to let it in. It will give you victory over. So here we find the last stone that was being used. If we were to stop there, I would be hopeful that you understand what your now is. But I got one more thing to tell them, Apostle, then I'm out of here. That when Jesus came on the scene, and I begin to look at the life of Jesus, but because I think that anything that we're going to validate and we're going to call it gospel, we got to always be able to connect it to Jesus. So you got a lot of folks preaching stuff, but it don't hook up to God. Y'all ain't going to let me preach it here. We got a lot of folks that are just saying stuff, giving opinions, but it never hooks up to Jesus. But when it hooked up to Jesus, you can take one step out of the Old Testament. You can step down out of the old, holding the old in one hand and have the new. Somebody ought to say yes, Lord. I found in the Bible when Jesus was here that he also went to Gath. It was called Gethsemane. That when he went to Gethsemane, it's called the oil press. It's called the oil press. We got our wine in the Old Testament, but we get our oil. Somebody, I got wine coming out of the old, but I need my oil. Here we find Jesus, that when he went to Gethsemane, the Bible said, "Watch how you squeeze me now." I said, "Watch how you squeeze me now." I said, "Watch how you squeeze me." That when he went into the Garden of Gethsemane, he said, and he told his disciples that I want you to watch with me. But they sleep on it. There's going to be times in your life when folk you want to go with it. When we find Jesus, the Bible says when he was being pressed, he was being pressed by the enemy. It said that there was blood that began to come from him. The sweat ran down like blood. That's my oil. Look at somebody and tell them that's my oil. That's my oil. Don't you remember the man on the side of the road when it said that the good Samaritan went by? It didn't say he just poured in water just to clean off his wounds, but it said that he poured in the oil and the wine. I said he poured in the oil and the wine. I don't know about you, bitch. I need oil and I need the wine. Jesus, that he's left there in Gethsemane. But when he came up out of Gethsemane, he won't need but one stone. Y'all ain't gonna let me preach. He's already picked up in the garden 5 stones. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But he ain't gonna use but one right now. Y'all wanna know how they took him into the judgment hall? They began to accuse him. You know how they beat him. You know about the crown of thorns that they put on his head. Y'all ain't gonna let me preach, but I came to tell somebody that you got to get it now. So they march him up to Golgotha. When they march him up to Golgotha, y'all do know he's facing a giant. Don't you know your sins? Some of y'all had a giant all by yourself, but he faced all of our giants. I had a giant set of sins. You got a giant set of sins. Y'all ain't gonna let me preach, but it's something about here. He came to the land where the giants lived. He came down to earth, and I preach right here. But anytime you go to fight a giant, you got to have you a Jonathan. You say, what is a Jonathan? Jonathan is the one that's willing to give up the throne to let you go up to it. Don't y'all remember Jonathan was the one that was going to be king, but he moved out of the way so David could sit on the throne. Jesus became our Jonathan. No greater love than one that laid down his life. He called me friend. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Give me about 5 more minutes. So they put him on the cross. But I need to back up just slightly, because if you follow the Gospels, you know what Jesus had already told them, that if you tear down this, he's talking to Elijah, he's talking to the giant. He said, if you tear down this temple in 3 days, I'm going to cut the head off of what they done. So Jesus is on the cross looking defeated. When the apostle came on, he said something that was right in the very vein of my message. He said, defeat is not an option. Look at somebody and tell them now. How you going to lose if you've already won? Prophet, we got too many people. How many times you ever watched a movie and you, listen, because this is real. You knew because of the time, the many times you watched it, exactly what was going to happen, but you still are anticipating a different ending. You're sitting there like, well, maybe this time here. No. It's already written. That's why you got to read it from right to left. He knows the end. So here we are. Jesus is on the cross dying. And even in his worst state, he's able to pour oil. Remember the man that he told on the cross that this day you're going to be with me in paradise? He poured oil on him. I don't care how bad you get, preachers. I don't care how the enemy attacks you, preachers. You still got enough oil to save somebody else. I'm almost done. Jesus is now somebody got it. In a borrowed tomb. Supposedly dead. For those that don't know his message, that didn't hear him say what was going to happen, they think that it is over. But I told you he didn't need but one stone. Remember when the ladies came to the tomb? The Bible says that he won't need, just like David didn't need but one to conquer Goliath. Jesus said, I won't need but one stone to prove to the dying world that I conquered their enemy. Oh, death, where is your sting? Oh, grave. But didn't I tell you that just like David picked up 5, he left us with the other 4, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They are all our stones. I can roll the gospel. Somebody shout, I won. You can't hear that word and just sit there. Come on. Shout this one more time. I won. Clap those hands, give the Lord a hand clap of praise for the manservant, Pastor Jose Billups. Come on. Come on, somebody cry, don't let nobody outclap you. Hallelujah. 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 Somebody shout one more time. I won. In every situation, in every circumstance. All my mess, I won. Y'all sitting here like y'all in the library. One more time, somebody shout, I won.
by somebody and say, I know I said I won, but you won too. Come on. Come on, say you Jesus Christ, you already won. Come on, prophet, you a prophet now. Say you won, you won, you won. Y'all scared of your neighbor, they ain't stuck up, but look at somebody one more time and say, I don't know what you got going on, but I decree and declare that you have already won now. Y'all slow, you didn't know how to say it. Hey! Clap those hands, give the Lord a hand clap of praise. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. But even while you're sitting,